What's that you say? My generic bills are due? But that requires money. I don't have any of that. Oh, hi. Welcome back. That was Night of the Living Dead Part 2. Sucks to be them. Ben survived that entire night of zombie attacks only to be murdered by redneck cops. Yeah. How ironic. Or, unfortunately for this country, kind of expected. Now, if you caught me in the middle of that little 100% authentic, real conversation I was just having with my bill man, it seems that money is due. Because we live in America, and money is always due to someone, somewhere, just for the simple act of living. How am I supposed to have money? I don't have that. Well, if only Lady Luck were on my side, I might be inclined to go down to Las Vegas, or possibly State Line, which is much closer to me, and put some money on games of chance, and maybe, just maybe, I could hit it big. Wouldn't that be nice? Well, under normal circumstances, you're never going to make it big on games of chance because the house always wins. But on today's Hex for Trainables, we'll learn a little way that maybe you can get luck on your side. Must be the season of the witch, yeah. So this week, we're going to learn how to make a mojo bag. And a mojo bag is an element of lowlands hoodoo, which is a syncretic system of magic that combines African juju, European witchcraft, and Native American mysticism. It's one that I particularly enjoy because it's very personalizable. You can change it up depending on your own personal idiosyncrasies. Wow, talking is hard. And that is good because, well, not the fact that talking is hard is good, but the fact that you can mix and match is kind of nice because if you're like me and you have trouble forming basic words, you're also probably going to have trouble remembering the complicated steps to an intricate magical ritual. And that's what makes hoodoo nice because with hoodoo, it's very personal to the spell caster and to the spell user. So the more personal you can make it to yourself, the better the magic will work. There are certain rules to the rules and guidelines to the system, but in general, you've got a lot of leeway to kind of make it personal for you, which is nice. So today I said we're going to do hoodoo. So today, like I said, we're going to learn to make a mojo bag. And a mojo bag is basically a bag of magical ingredients that all work together to create a certain effect. Possibly protection, or love, or just bringing you good luck, or sometimes financial benefit. And that's the kind of mojo bag we're going to be making today. Now, we've got the basic elements right here. Now, what you're going to do is you always have to start with your bag itself. Now, the material, it's usually leather or flannel, and the color of the bag is actually very significant. In hoodoo, use different colors for different effects. So if you're trying to create a mojo bag to bring you love, or to win the heart of a certain someone, you're probably going to pick something that's red. And if you want protection from evil forces, you're going to use blue. And if you want money, you're going to use green, because money. So today we've got some green material to make a mojo bag. You're probably going to see through this because there is a green screen behind me. Hopefully it's the wrong shade of green, so you'll get some idea of what we're doing. But if not, look, just take my word for it. There's an actual piece of fabric here. It's not that there's suddenly a hole through my chest. That's movie magic. So there are certain things we're going to put inside the bag. Now, some hoodoo practitioners say that the You should do this in multiples of 3. So 3 ingredients per bag. Some say 4. Seems to really depend on your personal feelings about it. I'm going to add a few that I think would work for me. Yours might be a little different, but this will give you a good sense of where to start. Now, almost every mojo bag, though, is going to require this key ingredient, a lodestone. Now, a lodestone is a naturally magnetized chunk of the rock magnetite. And you can kind of guess why you might use that in a mojo bag, especially for one where you're trying to draw money to yourself. Something that's magnetic would be very helpful for that. So I'm going to put my lodestone in first. The next item I'm going to put in, I have got me right here a little tuber. This is some John the Conqueror root. Now, this is a plant which is also known as jalap or bindweed. It's named for John the Conqueror, who is a mythical trickster figure of early African American folklore. He was supposedly originally an African prince who got brought over to the States as a slave, but used his guile and wits to outwit his slave owners and escape, and then used his skills to continue helping other African Americans escape the bounds of slavery and befuddle those slave owners too. Now, John the Conqueror apparently, according to legend, returned to Africa eventually, where he now, like King Arthur of England, is not dead, but simply asleep, waiting for the time that he's needed again. However, before he did leave these shores, he left some of his magic in the roots of the John the Conqueror root, so we've got one of these now. Obviously, it's got some of his, hopefully some of his trickster energy in it, so we're going to want to, trick fortune into being on our side, so this is very useful. Just to remind our John the Conqueror root exactly what it's supposed to be doing in the mojo bag, I'm going to wrap it in this $1 bill. Now, if you really want to do a little overkill, you might want to wrap it in a larger denomination, but $1 is good too. Let's not get greedy. So I'm going to put my John the Conqueror root, wrapped in a $1 bill in there too. We've got a couple other items. I've also got right here, mercury dime. One mercury dime. Now, this is a dime that was minted in the United States between about 1914 and 1945, I believe. And they're distinctive because on them, they have a picture of the god Mercury. Actually, they don't. What they have on them is a picture of Liberty. But her hat looks a lot like Mercury's head wings. And since Mercury is the god of not only luck, but also specifically financial gain, it's a good thing to have him on our side too. So I'm going to take my mercury dime and put that in that mojo bag as well. I'm going to get one last element. This is one that's a little personal to me, so I think it's really going to help with the bag. It's a little unusual, but I am also going to take this alligator foot and put it in. Let's get this. All right. Now, the alligator foot, kind of, you can probably guess, good luck charm, very much like a rabbit foot. Also, it is green, which is going to help particularly with this spell. As I said, color being very important in hoodoo. And finally, those grasping claws will remind our mojo bag to kind of grab at that money and bring it towards us. So that's another good thing to have in there. So I'm putting my alligator foot in as well. Now, that's all I've got. I think that's enough. That's 4 or 5 elements, depending on whether you count the root and the dollar as 1 or 2. So that's enough for now. I'm going to tie up our bag. Here we go. Now, if you buy one of these mojo bags, like from a white girl on Etsy, you'll find that they're often left open. That's probably not the best way to do it. From my understanding, it's most effective if you close the bag. So you'll want to tie it up or else staple it or tuck it under somehow. I'm just going to tie this guy up right here. I'll explain a little bit about why tying the bag is important in just a moment. All right. Got our bag all tied up. Okay. So, here's a key distinction between a mojo bag and, say, an amulet or a talisman. Now, generally, if you're wearing an amulet such as this one right here, the power can come from possibly the stone that it's made out of, or the sigils that are emblazoned upon it, or sometimes even by a certain ritual that's been done on that amulet. Now, a mojo bag is different because a mojo bag is alive. Now, no amulet or talisman is actually alive, even though they might be imbued with the power of the spirits of some sort. A mojo bag is an actual living spirit, and you are creating it through this ritual. So, in order to create that spirit, you first have to activate it. And the way you're going to do that is you will have to, you're gonna marinate your mojo bag in the smoke from a candle or incense, some sort of flame. I've actually got, well, probably not ideal, I've got a Dr. Pepper scented candle here. It'll work for our purposes though, even if it doesn't have the exact mystical aura that maybe you want. Alright, there we go. Now don't put it too close because you don't want to singe it. You just want to turn it over, whoops, so that all get it nice and marinated there in the flame. That's the way to do it. Alright. Doesn't require too much, just enough. Alright. Now, that does not smell like Dr. Pepper when you blow it out. Now, one final point in making the mojo bag, now that you've created a living spirit, you need to feed it, right? It's going to be hungry. Now, the mojo bag spirit, there are a few things. It likes a liquid diet. So some people do anointing oil, liquors or liqueurs are just perfect. Apparently, for if you are gambling, the best thing, there's a little secret, little trade secret here. Apparently, having your lover pee on the bag is the absolute best thing. That doesn't last very long, so you'll have to do it between hands of poker or whatever game you might be playing. Just duck out into the alleyway and have your, your love person just, piss all over that. And that'll last about a round of, that'll last about one round of poker, probably, before you have to, feed it again. I'm not going to be doing that today, so I'm going to be using some, rum for this. A little bit inferior, but it'll get the job done. You can use any liquor you have at home. It really depends on what you feel, really depends on what your favorite is, because chances are, if you like it, Spirit will probably like it too. Now, you're not going to, soak it up in there. You don't want to, douse your mojo bag. Don't want to overfeed them. Just a little bit on a cloth. And then, you're just going to dab that cloth just like that. We'll have to do this every day or a couple days to keep that spirit fed. It doesn't take that much. Literally just a dab will do you. Alright. Now our mojo bag is activated and well fed. It's ready to bring us some luck. Now, of course, you can carry. The point is, you got to carry it around with you when it's with you. It'll bring you luck. It's most potent when it's held against the body. So you will want to just put it right. I'm just going to tuck it right in there, so that no one can see I'm carrying a little bit of a good luck charm with me. And presto, you've got a mojo bag. Now I don't know about you. I'm feeling pretty lucky now. I'm thinking I might head down to the local card room and see if I can get myself a few bucks to pay some of those generic bills that I was pretending I needed to pay. Except I actually do have bills I need to pay because, I was joking about it, but they're real, aren't they? Well, that's all the time we have today on Deep Cuts. I hope you've enjoyed learning how to make a mojo bag and hopefully make your life a little bit easier, as well as enjoyed our feature presentation of Night of the Living Dead Part 2. Join us next time. We'll have more amazing, interesting, spooky, weird, public domain films.
Ghostbusters.